Junkies!
Let's talk Suicide Squad. So, Suicide Squad, came to rave reviews, and a lot of people have had nothing but positive things to say about it. I've heard a few negative things, but for the most part, everybody has really enjoyed the film. So, let's chop it up, everybody. What do we love? What do we hate? What do we think of the Suicide Squad from James Gunn?
I liked it. I thought the whole entire movie was fun, but it's like I didn't have any problems with it. It for whatever reason, the Harley Quinn thing for a minute felt like they had to have her do something, so that part was kind of like it felt like it was not tacked
like she was
on.
Forced?
It kind of felt like it was take it just a little bit because like she was out of the picture for a long time, and then they had so much stuff going on, which was very interesting. I was like, wait, we gotta remember that Harley's still alive, but it didn't bother me. I still liked it.
Here's my real quick jump in on what you're saying about Harley. I am impressed that she was able to put that prom dress on. No, I'm able to put that prom dress on with her hands tied behind her back.
Oh.
I don't know how she managed that, but I would, that's amazing.
But wasn't the El Presidente's handmaidens, weren't they like helping her dress and all this?
They was putting her makeup on.
Okay.
They opened up that little pit and said, threw that dress down there, here, put this on. So I want to know how she put it on because she was tied up completely. Yeah. So however she managed that, that's amazing.
Right. So for me, I thought this was the quintessential James Gunn film. Like, literally, it was. If you say Guardians of the Galaxy was a James Gunn film, oh, look at that. Look at Fallen
Marvel over there gift subbing.
Look at this guy. Gifted subs.
What happened? What happened?
I don't know. You gift subbed a bunch of people.
You gift subbed,
there, Super Saiyan.
Accidentally pressed the button.
We'll take it. But anyway, no. So this was the quintessential James Gunn film. I mean, Guardians of the Galaxy was that, and an over-the-top, zany ensemble cast film. This was that, almost to the nth degree, because there was so many people in it. Now, granted, in the first, 10, 15 minutes of the film, half the cast was like cannon fodder anyway, which we kind of expected.
But that was
I didn't expect that.
I did. Not to that
I didn't go in, not to that degree, because, when certain actors that have names that you know about them, they just are in a role to be just cannon fodder. You don't see that too often. It has happened before, but you don't see that too often.
Sure, no.
So I was not
and not as violently as they were.
Yeah, I thought they were going to be the new Suicide Squad, and they're just like, we don't need that many people.
Well, here's what I loved about the way they did that. Gunn, and again, James Gunn comes from the University of Trauma Films.
Yeah, trauma.
And when because it's like they started off with Michael Rooker, who we all love. Obviously, mostly everybody knows him as Yondu.
Yeah.
He's sitting there bouncing that ball. I'm like, oh, this is about to get real weird, because it's like, what, and again, love him as an actor anyway. But for him to have that freak out was just so funny, man. I was just like, dude. This dude is losing his mind over here. And then, obviously, you got to have at least one head blown in Suicide Squad. That's the rule. Mm-hmm. So when I love how they blew up his head, and then the blood spelled out Warner Brothers Presents. And it was just like, oh, now the movie's actually about to start. So that's what I liked. I like how they just, and they gave him carte blanche. It was like, kill off whoever you want to kill off. Yeah. And he killed everybody that you saw in all of the trailers. I was like, that's awesome.
Now, the other thing I thought was pretty cool was kind of the symmetry of having, after Savant got his head blown off, the bird flying down and picking at him.
Oh, yeah. It was like,
that shit was
like
funny.
revenge.
Yeah.
Revenge for my brethren.
But, and the other thing, too, I love how they did the titles. The little splash titles that they had all throughout there. Mm-hmm. That was great. I thought that was really great. But no, a lot of people are feeling like this movie dragged on way too long. Do you guys feel that way? Because it was 2 hours. It was like what, 2.5 hours?
It's 2 hours 15.
2 hours 15 minutes. Yeah. And in some areas, it felt like it dragged a little bit. Anybody else feel like that?
Not really.
Feel the runtime with this movie. I think that it was paced evenly enough to where everything served a purpose before they moved on. Like even the parts that like you would probably think were a little bit like irrelevant still felt like there was a reason for it. It's like even the Harley Quinn part. Like I was wondering, like, okay, where's this leading to? And then like we see the payoff, and I'm like, oh, okay. Like for a minute, it's just like I thought it was about to kind of just go off on a tangent, but I think this movie kind of proves that when a filmmaker like James Gunn like has the reins and able to construct the movie to how he wants it with no interference and
Mm-hmm.
and it really serves to uh you get something that's really unique at the end of the day. And I think so far it's definitely something content wise that Warner Brothers slash DC really needs for their movies. And it's kind of interesting the fact that you are constantly reminded that these are messed up people, and you feel sorry for some people more so than others. So it's not like you're supposed to feel sorry for everyone, which I think the first one got wrong. Well, except for Croc, no one really gave a shit about Croc. But other than that, it's one of those things where I think like James Gunn really excels at. Like he has a way of really getting visceral, but at the same time has a way of injecting like really heartfelt stuff in it to the point where it was like, damn, I didn't expect to feel that way. It's like even with the conclusion with Starro, like that last line, like once it was all done, I was like, damn. It was like James Gunn has a way of really doing that to you to where it's like you're feeling good and then it turns you around and make you feel like right bad, like really bad for like enjoying it and like damn.
Oh, okay, so can we address what Legend is saying in the chat right now?
So Legend didn't like the film. It seems
So
like.
okay, so this is a guy that almost damn near worshipped the ground Snyder walked on, and was I wouldn't say overly negative about the MCU or Marvel's films, but you could tell he wasn't like an overly great fan of them, because if they were fun and jokey and entertaining, then he kind of hated it. But if it was dark and violent and kind of super serious, then he loved it. So address his comments if you wouldn't mind.
Well, okay, like for example, one of the ones in there looks like it says the opening of Batman Forever is still a jaw dropper and a forehead raiser. I don't know what a forehead raiser is.
Like how?
But well, the opening of Suicide Squad films just kept me straight faced. The opening wasn't very ambitious. Then again, okay.
I don't know.
See, I can't
Go
really
ahead.
agree to saying the opening of Suicide Squad wasn't ambitious, because they literally subverted all expectations with that cast that went in there. Because they all got murked with the exception of Rick Flag and Harley Quinn.
Yup.
Because I could have sworn my man Jai Courtney was going to be in as Captain Boomerang for
Bro.
a lot longer.
Bro.
And when he got murked, like, immediately, it was like, okay, I guess it's going to be Idris and Cena all day long. So it's hard for me to really accept that, oh, this wasn't a surprise or a shock, because this is something they don't do in films very often.
No.
They don't take, like the first movie that really did it in our lifetime was Scream, because
Right, hold
Drew
on,
Barrymore was advertised to be in Scream, and a lot of people thought she was going to be in for the whole movie, and she gets killed in the
Talking about Drew
opening.
Barrymore?
Yeah, the opening
yeah.
sequence. So that's not something that they do very often. And
Exactly.
I'm just going to go ahead and switch gears. Peacemaker.
Yo,
Because
I loved him.
I've always liked John Cena.
Yeah, I loved
But
him.
Holy crap! When they introduced him, it was just like, it's like, so yeah. So his dad raised him from the moment he was born to be a living weapon, and anything in his hands is a deadly weapon. Wait, hold on. You having a laugh?
Right.
He does what I do. You said every member on this team is unique. He's like, yeah, but I do it better. I was like,
That shit was awesome.
I was like, my
All right,
man.
Fallen, go ahead, man. What
Go
were you
ahead.
gonna say?
No, well, to GQ's point with Peacemaker, I will say that I think that he was definitely utilized like really well in this movie. And not that I like this character, but I do like the camaraderie they had with him in Bloodsport. like I do somewhat camaraderie because they kind of really hated each other's guts though. But other than that, I do think the exchange between them was really entertaining, and it's like again, it lends to like that whole part when they went to rescue Flag, and they were kind of having that whole little
one-upsmanship,
thing
man.
leading up to it.
Mm-hmm. Oh, dude, that was the best scene in the movie.
And then we're sitting there thinking like, damn, that's crazy. And then you realize what actually happened. And
Yeah.
you're like, oh.
Yo, the DC execs were giving him such shit about that scene. They were like, "Hey, is this a step too far?" Hell, fuck no, it wasn't.
That was
This shit was
perfect.
awesome.
That was perfect. Because
Yeah.
what I loved about it is that's what comic book characters do. It's like if you got two characters that are very similar, heck yeah, they're gonna be trying to one up each other. And then you get to that point where the Flag, because at first I was like, are they trying to make it like Flag is a traitor? Right. And that's what it felt like for half a second. Then it's just like no, it can't be that. Flag is always supposed to be dyed in the wool, patriot and all that. And they get there and it's just like, so you didn't see any of our people? They were all like, what people?
What people? What you talking about? And then King Shark goes and hawks up the finger.
I love that part, man. That scene was
everything
really well
about
done.
that scene. That was my favorite scene in the movie, without question. That was my favorite
Dude,
scene.
I did not feel good anymore after that scene. Like that was like. Don't get me wrong. It was entertaining, and I understood what he was doing, but at the same time, it was like, damn, because like he has that way of kind of switching it up on you, and it was like, wow, like James Gunn really.
I'm sorry, I enjoyed because the thing is, it was a good swerve. Because you think you're like, all right, they taking out all the bad guys and whatnot, and you find out it's like, no, these are the freedom fighters, guys. It's like, oh well, and that's what made it work. Because with a group of villains, that's what they're gonna do.
And they didn't know.
And what was Waller's last command?
Yeah, he
take
said,
out
take
everybody you see,
because they didn't know whatsoever who they were. They were just like, oh, Flag got caught by these guys. Well, we got to get him.
Yep. So I love that.
So a legend is in the chat, and listen, put the camera on me. Look, Kevin, I need you. Like, your stuff in the chat is great. I need you. Like, if you could come back every week and do what you're doing right now, that would be awesome. I need you, bro. Come back and do stuff like that. Please talk to him, Fallen. If you want to talk to him, go ahead, talk to him.
Just really quick question.
Man.
Legend. What is it that Croc did in the first movie that made you care about him? I'm curious because outside of him owning BET in his room by the end of the movie, I don't know what purpose he served.
I don't get it either.
At the end of the day,
I don't fully get it either. But it is what it is. It is what it is, man.
Polka Dot Man was not trash, bro. That shit was hilarious.
He said, "Polka Dot Man trash."
That's your mom,
dude. That shit was hilarious. He was seeing his mother everywhere.
Yeah, that played that really well. I liked Ratcatcher too.
Yeah,
I did. I like Ratcatcher.
Ratcatcher 2.
Yeah, right. That's what I said. Ratcatcher 2.
Oh, I didn't hear the 2.
Yeah,
I actually liked her a lot more than I thought I would.
Yeah,
I kind of like in the trailers. I kind of pegged her as like probably the character that may have annoyed me
hilarious.
a bit more. Now, granted, you get that with King Shark already, but like, okay, you got the dumb one in the group or whatever. Okay, that's
King
fine.
Shark was awesome.
But
King Shark was great.
But Ratcatcher 2 was like a character I thought would have annoyed me, but she kind of was the one that sort of held the group together.
Yeah,
in a
she
way.
was the heart.
Yeah,
and
she
it
was
was
the heart
like,
of the
and I
group.
was like, that's different. And poor Polka Dot Man, like that guy just couldn't get a break.
He could not catch a
Well,
break.
again, he said the wrong thing. He said, "I'm a superhero." That's nah.
Yep.
No,
Shouldn't
you're
have said that.
Not
As
hero.
soon as he said that, I knew he was dead.
Now,
now,
all right, Cosidious. Yes, there is another scene with Cena. We watch it all the way to the end.
yes,
all the way to the end.
and that leads into the whole Peacemaker thing that's supposed to be on HBO Max.
It's gonna be fun.
Honestly, before this movie, I was like, why? But now after this movie, I'm
Cena,
like, give me this shit like right now.
Have you seen John Cena going around all these premieres dressed as Peacemaker? He's owning this role.
Yeah.
He's like, look, doggone it, you gonna see me
he
now.
Wants this. Like he literally
Well,
wants
he
this, which
needs
is great.
something to associate with him, like outside of his like regular WWE persona, and now he's finally found it thanks to James Gunn. So it's one of those things where it's just like, okay, cool. So like now he finally kind of has a character he can attach himself to that's not like, oh, WWE Super Cena Make a Wish.
But-
He has something to attach to that now, and like I said, I'm not necessarily like the biggest fan of his, but I think this is probably the best I've seen him utilized in a movie.
All right.
And
I want to address Legend real quick for that. Yeah.
Please do that, and I'm gonna have to say we're gonna have to do something about these paragraphs that that people keep putting in the chat because they go by too fast and people can't read them.
Well,
So
all right.
go
So
ahead.
anyway, he's talking about his forehead razor and jaw dropper.
Yeah.
He's talking about the moment from Batman Forever when the Batmobile came up and Val Kilmer standing there, and it gave him chills. That gave me the Captain Picard head slap moment because Batman does not have a neon Batmobile. So I'm clearly older than you, and I accept that.
Yeah.
But when I sat there in
was
that
a kid,
film,
he was good.
I was just like, you got to be kidding me. And then on top of that, they did a great job with introducing Two-Face in that film.
They did
But then they just basically, just defecated over everything about Two-Face later on as they went.
especially after coming from Batman the Animated Series.
That's what I'm saying. So I mean, that's why I'm very harsh on a lot of the earlier, not the earlier, but the last two Batman movies especially. Forever had some moments, but it's not. Nah.
Right.
So-
All right.
I could still forgive the third.
Hey, we hope you enjoyed that clip. Make sure you check out our live content on Twitch. It's twitch.tv/culturejunkies. We also have a lot of content available on YouTube, unboxings as well as Blu-ray reviews. And you can support us on Patreon, patreon.com/culturejunkies. And on top of all of that, if you go to culturejunkies.net, you can check out our merch store. The link is culturejunkies.net/merch. There's a lot of great merchandise there. So there's links and logos and stuff all around me. So check those out, and we will see you next time.